Well, here we are again. And to keep it simple here real quick, we got to get these carburetors taken out again, but once and for all. Because these ones are not going back. The new ones are on the way. Okay, so it is a nightmare to get these carburetors out of this thing. You have to remove the battery box, which involves removing these side covers, things that hook to the battery box. You have to, in order to be able to slide the entire giant airbox assembly right here back, to be able to unbolt the carbs and slide them back enough to pull out. Gas tank's got to be removed too. It kind of helps the process. You got to get in there, take some cables out and stuff, throttle cable and everything. So, I don't think I don't need to take out the boots, thankfully, to do that process or anything like that. So, but it's a bit of a process here to do this thing and whatnot. And the big airbox here is definitely a requirement for CV carbs. Not, you can run pod filters, but it's and everything, but they like kind of a smoothed out airflow rather than pulsation. So, but we're not going with CV carbs. We are going with Mikuni slide carbs, and that will also require changing of the throttle setup from just a pull style to a pull push. So I've got to get these off, measure my cable length. I might go a little proud on that and everything, because this always seemed like it was a little tight, like pushing limits. Here, it's not really curved too well or anything, so I got to measure that, get a rough estimate on that size and everything, and then I got to learn to rotate this slightly, and then get all that off, measure, put some parts on order to get to me, so after putting the carbs on and everything, then we can hook stuff up and have a proper assembly. But I definitely want the other carbs put on first before finalizing any cable sizes and stuff. But I'm thinking, I think this is a 36-inch right here, but I'll see what sizes they go up from there, like a 42 I've looked up and everything. So this might just be a first part, getting these carburetors out and everything and stuff like that. So big thanks to those who've been watching with this and everything and supporting the channel and whatnot. I know there's not as many viewers on the Yamaha and everything and whatnot here, but hey, you know, entertainment's entertainment, I guess. Putting out stuff, like I say, you know, love the chainsaws. We will get back to them. I'm starting to leave those more as a winter project, especially with the SP-125-101 AA and some other ones and stuff. So, like I say, if you like the channel, like content, the likes really help show that the channel's doing good and everything. So, subscribe, like, you know, leave a comment. 1,500 plus subscribers now. Thank you, you guys. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead. We'll get started on this. I'm not sure how much is going to be a hyperlapse because I really like to listen to music while I do this and everything and whatnot. So, but this will probably just be part one, ripping all the guts out and everything like I explained it. And then next part will be shiny carbs in my hand, and we'll get them mounted up and stuff. And there's a bit of a procedure on tuning them and everything. So it might be just be, you know, this two things into one video. I don't know yet. We're going to find out. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get started and stuff like that. I don't know, I'm just kind of brainstorming here. Looks on the bike, thinking of plans on it, whether I want to keep this or whether I want to try to go to like, it's pretty high up off the ground for a cafe style. I did want to go with another seat for the wife and everything, so figure that out and everything. It's just what I really want to do. But first, we got to get this thing running reliably and everything to get that part. To make sure everything else is worth pursuing after. Front brakes, one of them drags real bad, so pushing and pulling this thing is a complete nightmare. I'm thinking it's a foot brake here and everything, so if I crack a bleeder, that'll tell me real quick. If I crack it and it releases, it may not. It might just be the pins are a little rusted up from sitting, a little corrosion or anything, so that'll be another day's job, replacing the brakes or at least inspecting them and everything. Rear brake doesn't seem like it's dragging, but that was always another thing we had to do every year. Dad and I got into it. cleaned everything and stuff like that. So lots to do, and well, it's pretty much the end of riding season, so I don't know how much riding can be done or anything. I'll be happy if I can get a couple trips around the block successfully. What do you guys think? And then next year, definitely get her fired up, ride it, but also start doing more modification and stuff like that, making it safer, you know, and everything. Put the old lady, stuff like that and everything. I'm rambling on. Let's go ahead. Let's get started with the tearing down of this. All right, so when I talk about there's low space in here, you gotta take out everything, and then you can slide this back just a smidge because, like I say, the battery here and everything smushes. So to be able to scoot this back to get the little bit of clearance there is when you unbolt the carbs to pull it out for victory. So, and then getting this out is also going to be another trick. Probably got to take off some more bracketry, do some voodoo magic and everything. And then hopefully get it out of this assembly completely, and that's going to free up a ton of area back here. You know, maybe put some, you know, an area for cold snacks and stuff. Who knows? So, but that's going to be really nice to clear up some space, some weight, and update things in the future here. So, all right, let's get back to finishing tearing this apart, shall we? All right, I figured I got to this point, you guys are going to see them getting ripped out for good, right? Who doesn't? So, this is where you got to be semi-delicate. You got your throttle position there, the holder for the cable, fuel everywhere. Delicious. Probably should have drained them carbs first. Got that mess. We'll just go back here to catch it all. You don't smell like gas, old gas, or some kind of fluid. Are you sure you're doing this job right? If you haven't whacked your head on something yet, you probably should. Just to, you know. Probably some hardcore Yamaha guy out there yelling right now if you guys watch this. Like, no! That's not how you do that. That's how I do it. Choke brackets, intakes. There we go. Push it all the way down. Just send her on home. Yeah. One of the clamps got bugged, but it'll be fine. Just slap you back on there. No? The hand around here. There you go. There we are. Them bad boys are out for good. We'll set some to the side there for a minute. So, getting this airbox out, maybe there's just something I was overlooking last time. Okay, hold on. We've got connects to crankcase ventilation, so we'll have to figure that too when we get to that step. So crankcase ventilation goes into the airbox here. Not anymore. What else is killing us here? Let's see here. Another little cool vent tube of some sorts. Nope, not anymore. Gone. What other stuff is unnecessary? What is that? where we put the nitrous? What is this? Got some cool little tube. Not gonna need you. What? I think I made that harder on myself. Your bracketry gone. Deleted. I would think it doesn't matter which side it comes out. Oh. We got a couple relays here. Yeah, we got a couple relays up here I gotta undo real quick on the underside. And then we can pull this out. It's just a slide-on relay setup, so I think, being careful of wiring, it is out. Inside here, on this side, is the air filter. Those are very difficult to find. I would suspect they haven't made them since the 90s. So, there's your intake for everything. Goes into the box, smooths out the vibrations and stuff like that and whatnot, and each carb evenly got distributed with a crankcase ventilation and so on and so forth. So, I mean, it worked. So, but it's on to bigger, better things. So, we'll have to figure out the crankcase ventilation, where to pull that into. I'll have to see what other guys did and whatnot, and turn this more towards me. So, the beast is now airbox free and everything. So that is awesome. I'm still gonna leave everything out, the battery here and stuff, so I'll have access back here to doing other things and whatnot when installing. But the new carburetors are 25% thinner, so a lot more space to be had here. I'm probably gonna get in here, clean some of this up, because nobody knows when the last time it really got a good scrubbing, cleaning. So we got miscellaneous little vacuums here and everything. I don't know if it's to pull a vacuum or what it is. I mean, well, hold the vacuum. That boy will put his mouth on anything, probably. Don't know. Tasty. Vintage taste. So, this is, I don't look like it's ever been clamped on anything, so that might be for moisture just dribbling out. Tube. Just put it right back there. And then this. Don't do that. That's bad. That's bad. Not as bad as bad gas, but yep. So, all right, we've got that all torn out here. So hopefully we'll be skipping right to putting carbs in. I don't even know how much time is on this video yet. I'll have to see what goes on here and everything, if I can think of anything else. I mean, maybe it was a two-part series. Don't know. What I do know what was happening, and I'll tell you guys, I don't know if I said it on the last video. Number 1 and number 2 were, oh, we got to look at the synchronization, how bad things are. We'll look at that here in a second. Number 1 was a little lean. You adjusted it, it would affect the idle greatly. Number 2 was almost where you want it, and if you adjusted it, it also would affect the idle. Number 4, which goes to number 3, you adjust number 4, it didn't do diddly squat. And when you felt the tops of the carbs, number 4 was always colder, like it was drawing a bunch of air through, air and fuel. And number 3 and number 4 were always running rich. So, but this thing was extremely cold-blooded. I started it yesterday, one last time, and it was just, it takes forever to get off choke. I used to be able to start this thing up, it'd fire right, pretty much almost go 2,500, 3,000 RPM. It's kind of fuzzy, remember. And it would idle there, and you could just slowly take it off choke, and she'd be happy. You can even go down the road on half choke on it, and while it's warming up, and just thumb it over. And it would just, it was always happy and stuff like that. So it's good to have ridden this before when it was kind of in its prime, and now to, you know, be able to say, yeah, that's not right. So, but it's definitely a fuel delivery. It just, you know, when you rev on it, you had to baby it. And even synchronizing all the carburetors, it was never happy. So let's look at how bad that was. I learned some techniques afterwards. No, they're all open pretty much the same. Number one here is a little more closed off than number 3. Number 3 looks to be the most open, but it is affected by the idle speed. The idle overall does that. It changes all of them. So number 4, number 3 are slightly more open than number 1 and number 2, but they wouldn't pull the same vacuum. See, number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So they were very close to each other. Unlike when I first took it off, number 4 was great, was open much more than the others. So I definitely got them synced in to a good level, but there's just something going on with the idle circuit and everything else that unfortunately I was not able to clean out. So if anybody, I'm not going to say it yet. I was going to say, actually I'll say it, but I'm not confirmed on it. If anybody needs the carbs. But I'm thinking maybe, I know number 1 was good and number 2 were running really good. 3 had an issue on the internally for the float, but it didn't cause it to not get fuel. And I could see clearly it was getting fuel. And then number 4 was just running rich and everything. So maybe a small project. Those are 36 millimeter carburetors, and that's exactly what's getting put back on it, are 36s. And I could have gone 38s, but I wanted that lower end grunt because I plan to do, like, you know, country riding and stuff up hills and whatnot. So I need a little bit of that lower end grunt to get off the line and get up hills and stuff like that. So that was kind of the reasoning behind sticking with those. And the new carbs have accelerator pumps on them versus these do not. And it is adjustable on them, and you can adjust them, and there's instructions on how to. I'll probably explain that too already. But other than that, I'm pretty stoked about this and everything. You can see my leg is jiggling. I got a jiggle leg. And my mother would be like, yeah, he does. Especially at, you know, Thanksgiving and Christmas, how I'm at the table and I got the jiggle leg going. So all right, I'm going on here. You can see the smile is getting bigger as we are getting closer to getting the Yamaha. There's Yamaha, Yamahog, and Yamadog. Which one do you want to hear? And of course, down in Oz, Yami. So, and you can go Yami Hog, Yami Dog, you know, whatever. I mean, but Yamahog, I don't know. I don't know. Right now, it's definitely a dog. But we've got a little ways to go, but we know it runs. Now we got to get her running better and stuff. So I got to get that throttle off here. We might as well continue that, get that unwoven off and measure, and then hopefully we will have parts real soon. All right, throttle assembly off, took it in and measured 42 inches. And so maybe a little longer, I don't know. Like I say, might stick with that. Why? Now, the explanation, and probably somebody asked earlier, now I'm just getting to it. Why do you have to go to a pull-push style? With sliders, because of how much vacuum is created, that the sliders will return slower than to idle than it would for a like a circle slider type or whatever, or the seat, you know, the sliders like that and everything that I have right there. So you want to have that ability. It'd be extremely, I'm going to say it, stupid to do just the pull style. Because a push-pull, when you pull it back for throttle open, it opens butterflies. And when you push it forward, it also pulls the opposite way to shut, forcefully shut the butterflies. So that is your safety factor, and you don't want to run away on a motorcycle of any sort like that. So do not run just a pull style on slider carburetors. So that is the warning that they gave and the explanation. So that's what we're after and everything. So there had to be some upgrades and everything. Other little things I was thinking about on this bike had always sat me good, but I'm shorter than my dad, at least when he built this. And one thing I'm going to do is lower the seat down ultimately, get some shorter springs or something, because my feet fit, but they don't fit where I have a good bend in my leg. So if I plan on going with the passenger, I definitely want to be able to have more control over that. So this may get hacked down and put down further, a little bit more comfortable and stuff like that. So there's going to be some comfort things once I go to 2 people and everything. And stuff. The bars were always comfortable. I'll leave them as is and everything. Forward controls are going to get some attention at some point. I got to look up, you know, different designs and whatnot. For now, we'll get it running, maybe going around the block a few times and stuff like that, and go from there on things. And then next year, because wintertime is brutal and everything, seems like we'll be on doing the saws then. So we'll plan out. I'll sit and plan, daydream, mesmerize of upgrades and everything, turn signals and stuff. And it's got the old original turn signals here, but we'll look into better options and stuff like that. Just church it up. Broke one down here, you've probably seen in the videos. All that good stuff. Make bracketry, stuff like that. So. All right, I'm muttering on here. I guess we'll end this for part 1. Just keep it short, small, simple. And as I plan out off camera some of the things we're going to do and everything here. And we'll go from there. So if you have any suggestions, comments, and anything like that, whatever, let me know. Yeah, I still got to order pod filters and stuff. I'm told to get K&N for those and whatnot. So, alrighty, I'm going on and on and on. So we'll go to fix the brakes and stuff like that. I'll have you there for it and everything, maybe. Don't know. All right. Like I say, until then, thanks for watching. And see, like, comment, subscribe. Just like to say, you know, doing chainsaws and stuff like that, but always like to branch out into other kinds of things too, small engines and stuff and whatnot. So, all right. Thanks for watching. Yeah. Bye.